Hi y'all, welcome to my channel. This is my first YouTube beauty tutorial. I've already moisturized and primed my face. Right now I am just using a damp Real Techniques beauty blender and dabbing it onto my skin to even out my foundation. I am using the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Liquid Foundation in the shade Classic Ivory. Next, I am using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Fair, and I'm just putting it in all of the places I want to highlight, such as my under eye area, bridge of my nose, chin, and the center of my forehead. Then I am taking the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Light, and I'm just putting it in all of the same places I put the Age Rewind Concealer. And I'm just taking that same damp beauty blender and blending the concealer into my foundation. Now I'm using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Original, and I'm using my fingers to blend it onto my eyelids as a base for my eyeshadow. Then I'm using the Airspun Loose Face Powder in the Translucent Extra Coverage and a powder brush and just brushing it onto the areas I put foundation and concealer to set my face. I'm also using that same powder and dusting it onto my eyelids to give the primer a base so that it's not so sticky for my eyeshadow. I'm using the e.l.f. brow pencil in the shade Taupe and using the spoolie end to brush my hairs in place, and then shaping my brows with the pencil and shading them in all the way in the back and just kind of fading it into my inner brow so that they don't look so blocky. Now taking my Ulta Beauty Brow Tint in the shade Medium and brushing it on top of the brow hairs to help give a little more definition, and then just running a spoolie back through them to distribute the color throughout the brow. I also took some concealer on a flat rounded brush to clean up around my brows and then blended it in using the brush and my fingers. Now for my eyes, I am taking the new Urban Decay Naked Heat palette and using a blending brush, taking the shade Sauced and blending it into my crease. And since I have hooded eyes, I'm also going to take it just a little above that to create a little bit more depth. Now using the shade He Devil, I'm just going to use that same blending brush and put it into the crease where I put Sauced and just blending them together. Then using the shade Cayenne, I am going to blend it into the same crease and a little bit into the outer V of my eye. And I'm just using circular and windshield wiper motions just to make sure that the colors blend evenly and it just looks a lot nicer. Then I'm taking the NYX glitter primer and a flat rounded brush and putting that onto the lid and towards that outer V of my eye. This way the lid has a stickier base just to kind of help the shimmer shades shine a little bit more. I'm taking the shade Lumber on a flat eyeshadow brush and putting it right on top of the glitter primer. Then taking the shade Dirty Talk, I'm going to put this on the lid right in the middle between the lid color that I just put on, which was Lumber, and the outer V color. Then taking the shade in Fuego, I am putting that onto the outer V of my eye and blending it just beneath the crease to add some dimension. Now I'm just taking the two crease shades, Sauced and He Devil, and a blending brush and blending them into the outer V colors and back into the crease, just to make sure that everything just kind of flows together and nothing's just blocky on the eye. Then using the shade Ashes in the very outer part of my eye, and then using that same shade on an angled brush and pressing it into the outside of my lash line to give it an even smokier effect. As if the eye wasn't smoky enough already. You know, I just like being extra. I'm going to go back in with the shade He Devil on an angled brush and taking onto my lower lash line just to tie everything together. Then using the same translucent powder as before on a damp beauty blender, I'm going to bake the areas of my face that I used the concealer. I do have oilier skin, especially in my T-zone, and I find that baking the face just helps keep it nice and matte throughout the entire day. Now I'm going to use my Ulta Beauty Contour Kit in the shade Warm on a contour brush and taking it below my cheekbones and a little bit higher and down the sides of my nose just to help narrow it out around my hairline and along my jawline, and blending it down my neck just so there isn't any harsh lines created. Next, I'm taking the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in the shade Take It to Brazil and using a fluffier brush to take it into the same places I put the contour color, just to give my skin a little bit more of a glow. You know, it is summertime and I kind of like to help myself since I don't really tan that well. Now I'm using that same translucent powder on a damp beauty blender again, and I'm just putting it beneath the contour of my cheekbones just to help clean up any that may have fallen and to help sharpen the line. Carve out those cheekbones, girl, yes! Then I'm going to take my lash curler and curl my lashes. Then I'm going to be using the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara in Black is Black on my upper lashes. And I'm also going to be putting on my Ardell Wispy lashes, and I'm going to put them on off camera because, to be honest, they can be a real hassle and I don't make the cutest faces when I am putting them on. Now I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and I'm wiping away all of the translucent powder that I had left sitting on my face, and I'm blending in my contour so that there isn't any sharp edges created on my face. Then I'm just going to take a rounded brush and I'm going to take the shade Ounce out of my Naked Heat palette, and I'm going to highlight beneath my brow bone, and I'm also going to take it into the corner of my eyes just to make my eyes brighten and pop a little bit. Now I'm just going to take my Merle Norman eye pencil in the shade Ebony, and I'm just going to tightline on my upper lash line just to give my eyelashes a little bit of a fuller effect. Now I'm just going to take my CoverGirl Cheekers blush in the shade Pretty Peach, and I'm just going to put that on the apples of my cheeks and kind of blend it back into the contour color. Next, I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics and Carly by Belle palette, and I'm taking the second highlight shade in. It's got a rose gold tone to it. I like this highlight because it doesn't emphasize my pores and it's very easy to blend and to build up. I'm just going to take this highlight and I'm going to put it on the top of my cheek, and then I'm also going to blend it up around my eye a little bit, and then I'm also going to put this along the bridge of my nose, a little bit more on the tip of my nose, and then on my Cupid's bow, a little tiny bit on my chin because I do have a bigger chin. I don't want to emphasize it too much. And then I'm going to take it on the temples of my forehead a little bit and also the center. Next, I'm going to be taking my Rimmel London Lasting Finish Lip Liner in the shade Natural, and I'm just going to be lining all around my lips. Then I'm going to take my NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Fortune Cookie, and I'm just going to fill in my lips. And that is it for the finished look. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.